What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the video. My name is Chris, as always with me, Liam. And today we are diving into SAL Season 2, Episode 7. If you're just tuning in for the first time, welcome. We are a show about, we don't pretend to be experts, but we really do enjoy entertainment. And based on the fact that we just hit 36,000 subscribers, you guys do too. And so if you're tuning in for the first time, the best way to let us know that you enjoyed this video is by hitting the like button. And then also, we're more of a conversation style episode. We don't just tell you things and hope that you agree with us. We want to hear your opinions, whether you agree or disagree. The only thing that we ask is that you don't spoil things to come. So if you know for a fact that, you know, you read the gore, you've seen ahead, and something's going to happen that will change what we're talking about, we just ask that you don't share that and that you let us experience it in real time. But other than that, welcome. We love chatting with you guys down in the comments. We'll still see you there. And without further ado, we're just going to dive right in.
Yeah, last episode while I was editing, I was like, damn it, the damn photograph.
Yeah.
So we never got to talk about the photograph where Fred brought a picture of Hannah over to, and I'm surprised y'all didn't catch that or say anything about it.
Yeah.
Because I was really disappointed in myself after that.
And you guys are usually really good at catching on if we forget to mention something or misspeak on something, great about letting us know in a very constructive way that there's pieces you're missing, and I appreciate that. So we also want to make sure we're accurate, and if we misspeak on something that we make it correct.
Yeah, Fred gives her a photograph of Hannah in hopes to calm the waters between June and Serena.
Yeah. It's also a manipulation where he's good cop, bad cop, right?
Yeah.
Where he's been a good cop. Oh, you can confide in me. We're friends. We could even still be lovers. Like, I'll look out for you. I'll do these little things for you. No, Serena hates you. So I think he's also just manipulating the fact that he has feelings for June. And so he's trying to get closer to her too. Yeah.
All right. Now we got that covered. This episode starts off with, I thought those outfits marching up to the funeral were fucking badass.
Yeah.
The black and red.
Very cool. The representation that they used to represent like the light of what they call the holy vessel of where they refer to as. But yeah, black and reds are my favorite color schemes of all time, hence a lot of our logos and stuff, and my pants right now. But the representation of the funeral was great because you have that representation of what I was trying to say, but I couldn't figure out the words. The light of their everyday uniforms, their wings, the angelicness of it. And this one, much more Grim Reaper, much more hidden face, much more, it was like great representation of the difference in the roles they were playing.
It was something I would see it, or what I closely related to was like the all-female guard unit in the Middle East, where they're just like badass, but they're still covered head to toe.
Yeah.
And I thought that is pretty freaking wild. But while we were in there at the funeral, I appreciate how they were taking those handkerchiefs and just touching each one. And I was like, that is one hell of a way to honor someone now.
Yeah, great attention to detail and way to make a funeral really feel like a ceremony, like it's doing a purpose, not just, and I don't want to ever hate on anyone's passing. Sometimes in movies, they make a funeral kind of just seem like this blip of a thing. In this one, they had a lot of focus on the intention, which I thought was cool.
Yes.
Not that by any means anyone passing is a light subject, but one thing I wanted to point out is that, and it might be the way they wrote it, is when you first start this episode and you're coming into it, you're coming in off the huge explosion of the previous episode. And we don't yet know the full ramifications of what that explosion has done. And so when we first come into this, I was one of two places. I was like, one, this is a funeral, or this is a punishment. This is all these handmaids are about to get buried alive kind of thing because of being accomplices in this explosion. Wasn't until I saw in June, you noticed someone was pregnant, right? So I immediately associated that, slip into your face, but associated, oh, it's June. I was like, okay, funeral ceremony, completed there now. But at first, I hadn't separated that. Like, I think that handmaids and the ability to create children is like one of the highest priorities that Gilead has. So hurting them in any way is not something they try to do by any means unless I have to. So I was torn. I'm like, are they really going to kill these handmaids right now? And then it did become the funeral procession, and it did move on to something different with Aunt Lydia doing an amazing job of stealing that role again and just rocking it. And so yeah, that was powerful.
Aunt Lydia had mentioned, what was it? She said something along the lines of, look, if I had it my way, there would be no more trauma and wounds and violence. Yeah, and that's what she's been trying to do all the time. So I think the moment was a break in character. Aunt Lydia herself, where she's just like, I'm sick of this shit.
Character lost in her own beliefs to the level that she will blindly perform cruel and evil acts in the name of her God because of that belief. It's crazy, but the way the character is written is well done. Yeah.
And then we essentially have June having a conversation with Nick in the hospital.
Yep.
where Nick goes ahead and makes out with her. But right before that, she's freaking out because she just saw a Martha get shot in the street. She just got accused of the new head of the Guardians guy.
Yeah. Commander Cushing. Yes.
And did you notice the whole time? I feel like he got bad information because he's like, so tell me about the Serena and Fred. Like, they're terrorists, right?
Yeah. I don't know if he necessarily had a conversation with Commander Price, but Commander Price reluctant of like he understood that Fred wasn't a true believer, or that he wasn't being completely what's the word I'm looking for, upfront with him about what he was doing behind closed doors, right? And so there may have been all three of those head guys may have been in council on that. It might not have just been Price, like I was assuming, which would then put Cushing in the know.
It could be one of the conversations that came up at the golf course, as we saw before. No, in the golf course, it was shooting.
The heat shooting.
Yeah.
I would think that he's in the know. Like the top three guys that we always see walking around, like supervising everyone, I would think that they're all like equally depraved and also in cahoots with each other, trying to keep all their other depraved people in line. And when Price was out of the picture, Cushing takes over his role. And I think Cushing is a little bit more of a bulldog, doesn't really care.
Well, yeah.
And so he goes right in on this that I think they all had. Yeah.
Also, he is, as you said, like a bulldog, because as they're coming home from the fume procession, you're seeing all these people, like commanders and hanging from trees.
Oh, yeah. He went all out. So you had a commander and her whole family of Glenn came from there. We find out her name is Lily. Pretty cool that we found out who she was in that little montage in Canada. Took out a bunch of Marthas, killed that one Martha in the street for no reason. Like she said she was there was something she did. He shot her and let her bleed out in the street.
Yeah, saying that she was just reaching for ID.
And there were so many they're on it, right? So one just blew, was it 21 people plus 31 handmaids, something like that?
I thought it was 20 handmaids.
There was more handmaids that got killed than commanders, but it was equally high number.
Which is weird because I don't remember being so many handmaids close to the explosion.
So do you remember they're tiered up? So they may have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes way more sense. Because I'm like, where are those bodies from? Because the ones that were outside, she told to run, and they all ran.
They were in like rows going up, like overlooking the ceremony.
I must have missed that.
Yeah. So that's where I'm guessing most of those casualties came from, because we did watch most of the handmaids book it as soon as she held up. Yeah.
All right. We also have Moira searching for her lost love.
Yeah, that one, I was choking. I was choking a little bit on this one.
Were you?
Yeah, that was hard to watch because she was relentless. I'm choking up right now thinking about it. She was relentless in finding her, and all the trauma and just the stress and anxiety and all the things that she's been through. One being gained over having a baby that she didn't keep and gave away, which she said it didn't hurt her, but we watched it hurt her.
Yeah, and she sold it for $250,000.
Yeah. Her Scrooge McDuck pile, she called it, or whatever. She finally finds some love and then gets it all ripped away because gets raped repeatedly as a handmaid, then gets raped repeatedly as a courtesan for the house there. Forgetting the name of it right now. Finally gets away to find out that the love of her life is dead. So her journey has been rough.
And Luke's been there, very supportive the whole time. Like, he walks, well, when they're about the explosion towards the beginning, when they show Canada for the first time, they're there about to find out news, and he wants to leave. And he does ultimately leave. Yeah. And he doesn't matter, she's alive. Yes. He needs to believe that.
They have two different ways of coping.
Yes.
Right? He cope alive by that shit's bad for her, but at least she's alive. That's what he was referring to. And walks away because I think if he were to find out otherwise, he loses that hope. But for Moira, and then I thought maybe Moira wanted to find out about June, but we've going to find out that really what she wants to know is...
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, is whether... What was her name? The girlfriend, the doctor.
I forget. It was the OBGYN. Yeah. But we also have Luke coming in, like, right before she's about to find where her lost love was.
With the food?
Yeah. He comes in with what? Tiki masala?
Yeah.
I was watching, I was like, damn, I could go for some tiki masala right now. That shit's good. He's like, even good cold. I'm like, yeah, it is. But the thoughtfulness that he doesn't overstay his welcome or anything like that. He's just in and out, making sure that she's good for as good as she can be in this moment, and just wants to show that he's thinking of her and supports her. And so he drops the food and leaves.
Yeah.
So that's good.
That Luke is, and please, if I'm misrepresenting him in any way, let me know. But he's doing a great job of holding space without forcing his beliefs onto her. So coming in and letting her know, hey, you probably cheat. Hey, maybe this isn't good for you. Hey, like putting yourself through this isn't necessary. Just to let her know, hey. But at the same time, he's not like sitting down and being like, you can't do this. You have to stop doing it. He's giving her that space to figure it out on her own. If you've done any kind of personal work with another person, you're never going to get someone to do something just because you want them to do it. It's not how human beings work. We have a reward system baked into our brains. And so if it doesn't reward us, we're not going to do it.
We'll have Emily coming back.
That's the thing. Before we started cameras, I told you there's going to be something that we talk about today that I'm not going to be okay. And this is it.
You know, like Emily and Janine coming back.
I love Emily and Janine as characters. I think that they have represented some of the strongest wills and then also the perfect innocence at representing in this episode, or not this episode, but this series. The thing I'm struggling with is a whole thing, and that's always going to pick. Sometimes that happens to me, right? I get caught in this shit. The number one thing that a handmaid is supposed to do is be able to produce life. And that keeps them one of the number one resources inside of Gilead. It feels weird to talk about it this way, but that's how Gilead is. When they screw up or are no longer deemed of service, they get sent to a place, the colonies. The colonies is irradiated like fuck, to the point where you might not even make it 2 weeks there based on how your health is. So now, Emily's been there minimum 2 weeks. Janine's been there at least 2 weeks. They've been working there completely poisoning their bodies with radiation. And now they're going to, these two and about 16 others, I'm guessing, back to healthy population and then to make babies with them.
Irradiated babies.
Irradiated babies? That I'm struggling with because yes, I get that the population is dwindling and that reproduction is like almost non-existent anymore. This is why I got to do what they did, or was able to get on the grounds to do what they did. But what I'm struggling with is like, how do the people who are trying to preserve life and create babies see this as the good step? Let's go get people we poisoned and bring them back and create babies with them. How are those babies going to be healthy?
I saw it as an act of desperation to just show that the numbers of handmaids are around and still out there. I don't think they genuinely care whether these two can make babies again or not.
Yeah.
They're just doing it to fill bodies and keep the illusion up.
Yeah.
That's where my mind...
I get it. It makes sense if you're doing it strictly for optics. And they're not actually for being forced into it or actually being...
Oh, I'm sure they're going to do that just, again, for the dicks.
Like, that to me makes no sense. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm hung up on. And it's just like a thing where if I were to want to create healthy life, to create a new population that can take over when we're gone, I wouldn't want to go to people I forced to get sick as the donors of that. It just makes no sense to me. I don't know. Am I crazy? Let me know in the comments. But
it is a little weird and a little hard to swallow for actually producing babies, but I don't think the baby thing was the intention behind it. I think it's strictly the optics of strength in numbers and showing that, hey, we're still stronger than ever.
So would it be fair to say then that I'm operating on this belief, and maybe I'm wrong, that yes, Gilead is corrupt and evil and uses their beliefs in the word of God and all the things they've twisted together to push their evil agenda. But at the same time, that the dwindling population and the need for healthy young babies is still like a very high priority.
Yes.
That's not an opt-in. That's not like something they're parading around in front and being like, hey, we need babies. And then like, gotcha. That's still something that they really care about.
I think control's more important to them right now.
Interesting. Okay. So my belief that I'm currently operating on would now has to shift slightly for that to make sense. That's all.
Babies were the excuse for them to get in power. Everything now is just staying in power, my eyes.
Yeah, I was still operating under the belief that the babies were the number one priority. But
that's what they like to say.
Yeah, that makes sense. People say in power like to stay in power. Yes, they do.
Very much. We also have Serena and June teaming up here just a little bit, but I loved how when she's in the kitchen with her, she's like, yeah, Serena.
Those digs, man. Those digs are the best. Yeah, the between June and Serena gives a lot to talk about for sure. And it's great to see because that a little bit of the silver lining for June right now is the fact that she can get her shots in where she can with someone who is so mean to her
because she's got the baby and they can't.
Well, they're under the mutual agreement. I'll keep your baby safe. You keep him right. So they're like,
yeah,
they have this uneven peace treaty that they're operating under.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like countries playing with nukes, essentially, with a baby.
Yeah. So
Nukes the baby.
One thing that Serena, this episode, clearly overstepping the boundaries of what a Gilead wife should be doing.
Yeah.
Nick supporting it, which I get. When June planted that in her mind, that hey, Jude's been here, Commander Cushing has been here. He does not believe us. He thinks that there's terrorists among you and all that. You got to protect the house kind of thing.
I go down, you go down.
Yeah. So Serena obviously oversteps greatly and decides to fill out documents, forge name, have Nick turn it in, and get Commander taken off the page.
Yes, that was wild.
Did Nick submit evidence? Because he said the eyes evidence was irrefutable, right? So didn't. But
Who came to arrest him, though?
yeah. What I want to know, maybe we'll find out in a future episode, so I'll just be patient. Is the evidence that Nick submitted
Legit.
Did he use maybe one of his, like, I still believe that Nick, that one driver got away, right? So did maybe Nick use that information and be like, hey, here's all the information of what he's done before, but really it was Nick who did it, and now he's just blaming it all on Cushing?
Could be.
I think so. I think he's trying to pulling off some of the Mayday shit onto him.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
That'd be a lot easier. Kill two birds, one stone.
I will say this, though. The gentleman who plays Cushing, I keep wanting to call him Jeremy because that's what he played in Bitten, which is where I know him from. But the actor himself,
series.
yeah, the actor himself plays a very good, like, unstable villain. He's very good at acting, like, a little unstable, a little irrational.
Well, Benton, he was a good guy, wasn't he?
He was the lead out in that one, but most times when you see him, he plays unstable, right? Like a little edgy, a little snap at you. And so he felt very much like that villain here. So I wanted to see him play out a couple more episodes and see where that evil went and how they had to deal with him, but they dealt with him pretty quick.
Sam and Dean's father was Jeffrey D. Morgan. All right. So his character, or Jeremy, the guy you said played Jeremy from Beta.
Yeah, I think it's Greg in real life. I want to call Jeremy, though.
He reminds me, like, when he plays his villains, reminds me of Jeffrey Dean Morgan from Walking Dead.
Negan.
Yes.
That is probably one of the most talked about villains in, like, book circles.
But that he plays that villain. He played that villain long before Negan was ever a character, right? So he's always, everything's cool, and then over the top snap.
Yeah, he's a psychotic side.
Yeah. That's how he's always played. And yeah, I'm just saying that I understand exactly what you talk about for that character himself.
Yeah.
We've got Serena and June working together. Serena's written up all these proposals and things and now wants June to edit. And then we get June's, yeah, sure, I'll do that. I need a pen. And then she's just like playing with that pen so hard. He misses it so much.
I don't trust Serena. So in the back of my mind,
Never trust Serena.
the back of my mind, when she handed those papers to her and now, she's in the and doing work and being in places she's not supposed to, can Serena use this against her? If shit were to hit the fan, could Serena say it was June? Could Serena blame June? Could Serena get June in trouble for how? I don't know. That's where I'm going with it, though. Serena's not going to ever do it out of kindness.
No.
She'll do stuff out of selfishness, and in this case,
And sometimes that's kind.
those two things could mutually be the same. Exactly. Yeah. But in this one, she was moved to action for self-preservation.
Yeah.
And so, contingencies could she be setting up, leveraging June as the scapegoat, is where I was going with this. Otherwise, why bring June in when she could just keep using Nick? Nick's already an accomplice in this. He's already incredibly smart, and he's a man. So he can get away with a lot more.
Well, they've already come to the understanding in the kitchen that it's mutually assured destruction. So they have to work together for the betterment of the household. June mentions to Serena that, look, she blew herself up. The whole family was innocent. He still killed them all anyway. He'd do the same here. So it's what we have to go on is the self-preservation of Serena. And that's why she's able, in my mind, to go ahead and bend the rules and completely break many of them just to keep herself safe.
Yeah.
And more importantly, in her mind, keep her baby safe. Because when she was in the hospital, Serena talked as if June wasn't even there. Your baby's here.
I think that there was two different occasions that my brain is mixing up, and I want to talk about both. So the first one is when June are in the kitchen, they're talking, mutually assured destruction, as you just called it. And that gets Serena to take action with Nick to take down Cushing. But the ends, Cushing's already gone, and Serena is like drunk on power. She's like, Christ, I just did that. And at the end of the episode is when she enrolls June into her new plan, which is, we're going to set some things right. We're going to start doing, make a difference. Like now is the time. And that's what she heard the things she had written up.
Well, they're trying to roll back all the bad overreaching decisions that just occurred because of the man they just got arrested.
Yeah.
So they're still doing damage control based on the same incident.
So she's going to be acting as if she is Commander Waterford and
Yeah, pretending like Fred is just giving her orders from the hospital bed.
yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see how that blows back because Fred's going to wake up and Fred's going to realize that shit's been in his name that he has not been saying. And as much as he loves Serena and she thinks he'll forgive her, I don't think he's going to be very happy at first.
We'll see.
Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff unfolding. And we got three episodes left in the season.
Or things, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see where we go.
8, 9, 10. Yep.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys think down in the comments.
8 and 9 next week. The week after will be 10, and then the Thursday will be live. Is that the day we leave?
No, 2 weeks. We leave the end of August for the retreat in Mexico. The 21st through that weekend.
Yeah, that's the live. The 21st.
Then we won't be here. We'll be in Mexico.
Yeah.
We can try to do a live from Mexico. It might be hard because it's not as good. We can't guarantee the connection like we have here.
Well, we'll leave it to them in the comments.
We'll be away, so we could just do it the following Tuesday.
Yeah.
That'd be easy enough. We got a men's retreat in Mexico. We're going. Can't miss it.
Fuck yeah.
Appreciate you all tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that like button. If you have not yet already subscribed, go ahead and do. What are you waiting for? It's a little click for you, and it greatly helps us out. And I can't wait to chat with you guys in the comments. But until that time, we'll see you on another video. Peace.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were, you've already come far.